Stephanie Pomboy, going into this number, you were showing some caution. That caution was well documented, and here we are. You were right.
Well, you've seen also a gentle uptick, I'll call it, in unemployment claims in the last few weeks, and that's an important indicator as well. Also in like the manufacturing ISM surveys, the employment component was actually weaker, whereas, you know, the other components were strong. I would highlight one thing that's really noteworthy in this is the strength in manufacturing, which normally should be associated with higher average hourly earnings because that's a higher paying job. So to the extent that the manufacturing sector was an area of strength in 2017, and yet we didn't see more robust wage growth is really disconcerting.
Well, it doesn't mean we don't have wage growth in that area, though, because my favorite thing, and I base a lot of my investments for my subscribers on what I call the dirty fingernails economy, it has been on fire. GDP, using ADP's numbers, goods producing jobs up 600% last year. That is absolutely remarkable, and that's what people who in the heartland, Ohio, Pennsylvania, that's what they put President Trump in office for. So maybe they're making more money, but you're right. Overall, it's bifurcated. I think areas where there's a shortage, people are making more. Areas where there's a lot of workers out there, they're not making anything.
Adam Shapiro has more news right now from the Labor Department. Adam, what do you know?
You know, one of the things that we should talk about, too, is that in retail in December, there was a loss of 20,000 jobs. And for 2016, there was a total creation of 203,000 jobs in retail. But in 2017, for the full year, there was a loss. It was negative 67,000 jobs. Yeah. So the retail number shows what's happening with the internet effect.
And that's something that you've been mentioning.
That's what gets to Charles's point. Is manufacturing has been strong. It's only 12% of the economy. Right. Most of the jobs are service jobs. And so this retail deflation is a major problem.
One thing that Joni Courtney has been talking about for months now is it's very difficult for businesses to find skilled workers. And when you have a muted job creation number like the one that we got, a disappointment for the month of December, it does raise that issue. I'll point to the U6 went up 0.1% to 8.1%, which does seem to suggest, because, you know, that's also part-time workers, that even in a very, very tight labor market, that there are pockets of people out there who are available to work. But it's that push-pull between people who want jobs but are working part-time but don't have the skill set to get a full-time.
I'm just going to point this out for a second, because Walmart's CEO told me a year and a half ago that he was having a hard time hiring people because they have a drug test, and everybody they tried to test for a job smoked pot.
You know what? That goes back to...
I'm not kidding. And I was talking to someone in the Army the other day, and she told me the same thing, and she basically said it's a big problem with marijuana because everybody smokes it, and they have to tell people, you know what, go home and come back in 30 days after it's out of business.
That's been a critical problem for the trucking industry for a decade.
That companies are dealing with.
They can't find, trucking is like the #1 job in 30 states, and they can't find truck drivers. People want to drive trucks. It's a good paying job, even though it's rigorous.
But they have marijuana in
But they cannot pass the drug test.
Yeah, because people rather smoke marijuana than take opioids to relieve their pain. But I think
and that's what Jack Brewer always says. It should be marijuana instead of opioids.
Unequivocally. Now,
I'm sorry to take. I digress.
No, that's okay, because I want to get to Lisa and her thought on the U.S. manufacturing sector and whether, you know, that's a good spot for investors to put their money, because we saw the U.S. made durable goods in November was up 1.3%. We're seeing manufacturing jobs here up 29,000. Are there areas in the market we can go? Should people be looking at industrials, materials? What is your take on this?
Well, we actually think a broader swath of sectors will be attractive this coming year. And the reason why is in a moderate growth environment, people are going to favor the areas like manufacturing and industrials and other areas where they can get a little extra growth. And with the economic numbers continue to be good, and we've got a decent wage report and jobs report today, we think there is going to be that ability to continue the economic momentum behind some of those more cyclical sectors, in addition to some of the traditional growth sectors like IT continuing to do well.
Well, John Hilsenrath, my question is, I'm looking at the U6 underemployment rate. It actually rose this month from 8% to 8.1. Does that concern you?
Not really. You know, that number has been coming down. It's down. I think we reported a full percentage point from a year ago. I think we are pulling people off of the margins of the labor force. So I wouldn't be too worried about one monthly change. You know, I'd also say on the monthly payroll number, it's mildly disappointing, but we have to remember in an economy with 160 million in the labor force, you know, the difference between 148,000 and 190,000 is really tiny. We have to remember for the year, we got 2.1 million jobs created. That's the 7th year in a row that we've had more than 2 million jobs created.
Wow.
This economy is not on fire, but it has a lot of momentum to it. And that momentum, I think, what adds to that momentum is that the rest of the world is growing right now. You know, I think these numbers are pretty good. They're not great, but they're good, and it's no reason to lose any faith in the expansion at this point.
To add to that statistic, John, the 7th year in a row that this economy has created 2 million jobs or more, that ties the streak from back in the 1990s.
Yeah, exactly.
Again, and this S&P 500 bull market is actually stronger than the one that we had during the internet-fueled 90s run,
and
which
it's
is really
because
incredible.
It's based on fundamentals, right, Dagan?
Right.
I mean, you're talking about real profit growth. You're not talking about, you know, clicks to a website, which was a lot of the backdrop in a new era, a new way of doing things. We were on the doorstep of the internet. Joni Courtney, Stephanie's been talking about manufacturing, and she's been talking about retail a lot. Where are the jobs based on what this report tells you, Joni?
Well, obviously we can see, right, the jobs are not in retail, but we see that the jobs have switched to logistics. Certainly e-commerce is doing very well. The professional and business service sector does extremely well. Those are the jobs around IT, application developers, program managers. Again, healthcare, very strong. Nursing continues to be one of the top jobs in America, as well as physical therapists. So there's a strong demand there. But even customer service jobs is in one of the highest demands right now, and we see that through many markets throughout the country.
Yeah.
So I think to this job report, I would have expected the number to be a little bit better, and maybe we'll see that next month in the revisions. But I am telling you, Maria, from the front lines, the demand is so strong. The job market is so tight right now and becoming more competitive that's why I think many companies are coming out with the bonuses and increasing wages. They're going to have to focus on the employees because it's an employee market right now.
Yeah, what do you say about that? I mean, these bonuses, Stephanie, have been quite impressive.
Well, we'll see. That a lot of that is end of year tax. You know, they're doing that for tax purposes. We'll see if that translates.
They want to have it on the 17 books versus the 18 books because you're losing all the deductions.
Exactly. So we'll see if that translates to real wage increases in 2018.
If you're a business owner, operator, a CEO, you look at this administration, you look at the Trump administration. They are not going to do anything to get in the way of doing business. They're trying to make it easier. They're going to open up offshore areas in this country to drilling in virtually every area.
That's a high-paying job.
That again,
it is
right. They are during the Obama administration because the economy, this growth trajectory started back in 2009. But the Obama administration regulated the healthcare industry. They regulated the internet. They regulated the financials. They nationalized student loans and basically tried to put the coal industry out of business. That is not what this current administration is doing, and that's one reason why this economic run and the stock market run likely have a lot of legs.